Buying a house is a huge commitment, one that needs to be carefully and thoroughly planned out. Knowing your financial capacity is a key part of the planning process, but also knowing your financing options is equally as important. Many have turned to the National Housing Trust, or what we call the NHT, for financial assistance. Others go through the bank. Join us today as we discuss things to consider when buying a home. I'm Crystal Thorpe.
And I'm Alwyn Thorpe. Join us as we discuss money and marriage. The National Housing Trust has been going since 1976. Its mission is to help increase and enhance availability of housing in Jamaica, as well as provide financial assistance to lower income contributors with getting a property.
Right, so over the years, more and more Jamaicans are actually taking advantage of the benefits offered by NHT, in achieving their goal to owning their own home.
So today we have joined with us NHT's Corporate and Public Affairs Manager, Dwayne Berbick. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Alwyn and Crystal.
Yeah, man.
Pleasure being here with you.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So we want to just ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So don't feel too stressed out. All right. So the first question is, how do people go about starting the process of getting an NHT loan?
Well, we firstly ask persons to do what we call an affordability check. Always the best place to start. The NHT has some basic eligibility requirements. You have to be contributing for at least a year, 52 weeks, between the ages of 18 and 65. And most importantly, you have to be earning at least minimum wage and above, and earning an income that allows you to be able to pay back the loan. And that's important because people oftentimes forget that it is a loan that the NHT is providing, and therefore, we have to check and assess your ability to repay that loan. You can send in your last 3 pay slips, TRN, NIS, and proper identification, and we can provide you with an eligibility letter.
Okay.
So how long the process normally takes?
For that eligibility letter, give us a couple of days.
Okay.
We are actually working to improve on that system, so now individuals can actually log into our website, upload those documents, and have the eligibility letter emailed to them. So we're constantly making improvements to that. So I'll safely say days. No, days.
But you're just not going to give us the number?
No, not quite yet.
All right. So hot topic nowadays is, how do I go about doing it as a single applicant?
Okay, that's always a preference for individuals. We know, yes, for some reason, because people don't want to buy a house with nobody else. And I kind of understand, because it's a major financial and legal decision. So a lot of persons prefer going it alone. But we know, though, that there is strength in numbers. So having additional income will always bolster and improve your purchasing power. But you want to go it alone. Right. The NHT's maximum loan limit is $6.5 million. We, of course, have joint financing arrangements with a number of other mortgage institutions. So individuals can always go into those institutions and get additional financing with the NHT amount. And again, I think most of those mortgage institutions will do that same kind of affordability check that the NHT does. You get your eligibility letter, you know exactly how much you can afford, and then you can go shopping with that.
So, but you definitely recommend to do it with somebody?
I would never say that. It's a personal decision. It's a personal decision, but we understand the realities of the market, that house prices are heading in a particular direction. Despite the general better financing arrangements that are in place, if you have someone you trust, you've done your background checks on,
My wife.
I hope so, that you're sure you can take on this venture with, sure, go ahead. Okay. But if you prefer going it alone, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Okay, so how many people can actually apply together?
Okay, so we have 2 arrangements currently. One is really, really new. So there's generally 2 individuals can co-apply. So any 2 individuals, they don't have to be related, 2 friends, brother and sister. Just don't do it with a stranger. I would recommend, of course, don't do it with a stranger. But any 2 individuals can co-apply and get their 6.5 or up to 6.5 rather, and access that 13 million. Again, you can match that with any additional funding from elsewhere. We are now introducing, like 2 days ago, we are now having 3 co-applicants.
Okay.
The difference is these 3 co-applicants must be related. There must be kinship ties
Okay.
amongst them. So it can't be me and your friend Crystal and Alwyn and the three we go do it. No, we must have some kind of blood relative,
Brother and sister,
auntie,
uncle.
right? And that comes from us having listened to our contributors and hearing them say, you know, for some persons they want to do it alone. For some persons it's 2. But you have some families that are undertaking this home ownership process together, and they found it to be a little bit limiting to stop it at 2. So we say, okay, where it's a family that is doing this purchase together, we will allow up to 3 co-applicants. So there you can have, you know, starting out with a maximum of $19.5 million that you can now take to the market to make your purchase.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
man, that's good.
That's amazing.
One condition with that, apart from the kinship ties, you must be buying or building at least a 2-bedroom and upwards.
Okay. And well, that makes sense. So it has to be a situation where they plan to live in the house. You know?
We would hope that's why you want to buy it already. And no investment is a big thing, but we would hope that it is to make, you know, realize an actual home ownership goal and not just for investment purposes.
Because, I mean, based on the fact that you want it to be at least a 2-bedroom and above, I mean, 3 people.
Right.
Yeah.
The living conditions must be
Definitely.
basically comfortable for the family, is what you're saying.
So, I have my co-applicant or I'm going it alone. What next? How much deposit do I need?
You know, if it is an NHT property, the good news is NHT doesn't require a deposit.
Oh, wow. That's good.
We don't require a deposit for NHT properties. Just nominal $3,500 service charge is all we ask for. We, in fact, offer 100% financing up to $15 million for NHT properties.
Oh, okay.
So
It goes
once...
past the 6.5.
Yes, we go past the 6.5 when it's an NHT property, again, subject to affordability up to a maximum of $15 million.
Nice.
No deposit.
So where are the new developments that you guys have now?
All over. I'm happy to say that the NHT has a project in just about every parish, with the exception of maybe Portland. We're looking for land in Portland. We've been looking for some time, so if you're out there, have piece of land, you can sell us. Give us a call. But we have projects
Portland.
We need to talk.
Probably not so big though.
But we have projects in every parish. We just ask persons to check our website, check our social media pages once the properties are finished with, or construction is completed. We generally advertise. There's a period we have persons come in and look at the units, make sure it suits your needs, and then there's the application period. So follow us on social media, follow our website, look for us in the press, and persons can know when those properties are available for purchase.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay, so can someone be eligible for a loan if they already have their name and a title?
Yes, actually. So there are 2 things that we have to consider where someone's name is on a title, whether the person is a homeowner. If the person is indeed a homeowner, the NHD does make a loan available to that person. It just wouldn't be the maximum 6.5. We would give up to $2.5 million for home improvement purposes, or perhaps to buy land. Where sometimes we find for estate planning purposes, parents would have put children's names on title from they were a minor, now they're an adult. They want to pursue the home ownership thing now, but their name is on a title. We do not penalize them. We look at those cases on their own merits, and once you can say, okay, you know, it's mommy put my name on this title, it's not a house I own really, then we can go ahead and give you your full NHD benefit.
Makes sense.
Okay, but what if I've bought a house using my NHT benefits, paid it off early, and I want to move now and find another place?
Okay, so if you're selling that first one, the NHT has a facility called transfer of balance. So whatever is the loan the balance at the time you close out that loan, you can transfer that amount as a new loan to the new security.
Okay.
So you paid off when you were at $4 million.
Right.
You can get back that $4 million to purchase a new property.
But you have
If
to
you're
sell.
selling the first one.
If you're selling.
If you're selling the first one. If you're not selling the first one, I'm sorry, Halloween, but it's one
So we can't use it for
property.
the
It's one property per how do I put this? Given the
lifetime.
needs and the demands for housing in Jamaica, we're not at that stage now where we're able to allow a contributor to borrow multiple times. So 6.5.
So why am I contributing
person.
still? Like,
Here why?
After I finish clean house.
Here why, Crystal? Because unless you're rich, if I add up all your contributions, it probably would not come to $6.5 million, which means I'm lending you somebody else's contributions that they've made. So I want to be able to ensure that that person has the same opportunity that you have had.
Right,
so we
right.
ask that you continue to pay. Plus, it's the law.
So how long does a person returning to Jamaica have to wait before they're eligible, to get a loan from NHD?
Okay, they may not have to wait. Here's
Okay.
why. Because once you're of Jamaican descent, wherever you are in the world, you can actually make contributions to the NHD. So we find persons have migrated, have plans to come back home,
Right.
and they continue to make contributions. Once your contributions are what we call current, you can access your loan anytime. For persons, however, who may have stopped for a period of time because they were overseas, we ask that they get up to date, get current again. So just start contributing again, whether as self-employed, whether as a PAYE, if you have an employer who is making those deductions for you. And once you're current, and current we look at the last 3 months, contributions are paid up, then you can actually access your benefit. If you've moved overseas, and you're living there, you can actually access your loan from there.
Oh, really?
Right. So if you're a first-time borrower, or if you're a first-time contributor, rather, from overseas, and it's 2 years before you're able to get your loan. But if you were contributing for at least a year in Jamaica, then you move overseas, and it's just 1 year before you're able to access a loan from us.
Okay.
So when they move, they have to wait a year and continue contributing for another year.
If they've stopped making payments.
If they've stopped.
Because there are some persons who actually switch to what we call a voluntary contributor immediately and continue to make those payments, then there is no break in the contribution history.
So if you have stopped and you want to start again, do you have to pay up all of that back money if you were working?
No. We just ask that you re-register. You've changed status. You're now what we call a voluntary contributor. So the terms of engagement are a little bit different, because whereas in Jamaica it's the law, it's mandatory that you do this once you're earning an income. Persons overseas generally, it's voluntary, it's because they want to. So we say start at this point, and it's monthly contributions of 3% of your declared income.
So another hot topic, refund.
Yes.
When am I eligible for a refund, and how is that assessed?
Okay, so a refund is due every 8 years. So you make contributions, the NHD holds them for 7 years, and they become eligible for refund in the 8th year. So in this year, 2022, we are refunding contributions made in 2014 or earlier. So once contributions were paid over to the NHD, the NHD verifies, I must stress it, and the NHD verifies that it actually received those contributions, and you're eligible for that refund. And you can apply for the refund anytime. A lot of persons like to do it on January 1. You don't have to do it on January 1. You can apply anytime. Some persons wait 2-3 years at a time and then just apply in 2-3 year blocks or however. But once that year becomes eligible for refund, you can apply
And no
anytime.
penalizing for not taking it?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good.
All right, so is there an age limit to access your refund?
No, not at all. Once the contributions have been paid over to you, and once the year is now due for refund, you can put in your application.
What about to access the benefits? Is there an age limit there?
18.
18.
Oh,
18
for
to
them.
70. I think I may have said 65 earlier, but we've reviewed that to look at 70 because we realize persons are working a little longer.
Oh,
Yes.
So
I was
yes,
saying
we move
70,
from
wow.
18 to 70.
Wow.
Right. So once you're between those ages, you can access a benefit.
what are the things that I can use my refund towards?
Well, firstly, let me stress, your refund is your money.
Okay.
The contributions, they were deducted from your salary. NHT adds an interest of 2% per annum, and it's your money now that you've collected.
Right.
So you can do anything you want with it. My advice, my recommendation always is that if you're not yet a homeowner, you perhaps want to put that towards your homeownership goal.
Okay.
Makes sense.
The NHT actually has a facility called Contribution Refund Towards Deposit. We call it CRTD for short. So I mentioned your refund is due every 8 years.
Right.
But if you're buying a house today, the NHT actually makes refunds that are not yet due available to you ahead of time. So I mentioned only 2014 would be due under normal circumstances, but we would add 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and perhaps 20. Those years of refunds that are not yet due to help with the deposit, help with the payment of, for your valuation report, your surveyor's ID report. If you're doing construction and probably property taxes are due, you can use it to offset. Yes, you can use it to offset all of those costs that are generally associated with a purchase.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
I know you were talking about wanting to actually use your money, the refund, to go to your principal.
Yeah, so just to pay off that loan a little faster, how do we go about using that refund for that
Principal,
purpose,
right.
for the principal?
Okay.
I don't want to pay no interest in that.
Okay. So if you're a homeowner, the NHT actually, if you have a loan with us, the NHT actually puts your refund on an annual basis towards your loan account. It will go to your principal
Automatically.
automatically.
Okay.
However, if there is a payment that is due, of course, we will use refunds to service that payment first, and then what is left is applied to the principal.
So you
And
have
just
to
to
be
be
up to
sure, you can always just request a statement from us anytime, or put your request in writing that you're asking for your contributions for this year to go towards your principal.
Okay. I also heard that if you have a loan, that's the automatic option. You can't get that money. Is that true?
That's true, with the exception of public sector workers, where we would have negotiated with the unions representing those workers for a period that those individuals would get refunds in hand. But all other category of mortgages would have their refund go directly to their loan account.
So who argues on our behalf? The private people. Eh?
But it's not a bad thing, Alwyn, because it actually, I've seen where it has cushioned individuals many times because this has been going to the principal. Life happens, you may lose your job, you become ill, you can't make payments as you should, and you find that you're not immediately in default because of this. And I mean, if you're interested in paying off early and there's no penalty at the NHT for early payoff, then I mean, your refund going towards your mortgage payment is exactly not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, he makes a point.
He makes a point, for sure. So Dwayne, we want to really thank you for coming and sharing your expertise today. Trust me, we learned a lot, right?
Yeah, man, we did.
We definitely
Didn't we?
learned a lot. And we're going to send an email for them to put it to our principal. For sure.
Is that email or letter, man?
Email.
All
We're in
right.
2022, man. You can email it.
The government agencies in Jamaica, sir, I have to make sure
Not
that
the NHT, sir.
Okay, no boast like that.
Oh, bossy, bad.
If you want to find out more about NHT, you can go to their website or check them out on social media.
All right, so thanks again, Dwayne, for coming through.
It's a
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. All right.
You're most welcome.
All right. Okay, so now that we know how the NHT process works, let's look at some other things that we have to consider when buying a house.
Right. So given the prices on the market right now, you will definitely need to have additional funds to supplement your NHT benefit.
Definitely.
In other words, your NHT benefits alone cannot buy a house, right?
Yeah, man. You need to shop around to see which banks or institutions have the best interest rates on mortgages. From time to time, they actually have great promotions going, so you want to keep your eye open for that.
Right. So the first thing you need to do is to speak to a loan officer to find out what amount you are eligible to borrow. And how they normally do this is that they check out your debt ratio.
Yeah, man.
Right?
So once you're aware of the amount that you're eligible for, you need to, guess what? Find the money.
Yes.
You have a final deposit, which is normally around 10% of the purchase price. You also need to put aside another 5 to 10% of of the money for closing costs
Yeah.
and processing fees, lawyer fees. Trust me, all of these things can definitely add up.
Right. So, one time people talk about 10% alone. That's not it. You
Nah.
gotta put down more for sure.
Definitely.
Right. So the next step is to start searching. And there's so many ways to search. You can use a realtor, you can use the newspaper, or you can even go online because there's so many property sites, right? There's so many of them that you can choose from. And one that I really love is going around and searching on your own,
Yeah, man.
right? Driving around in your car and just looking. Because that's how we actually found ours.
That's exactly what we found ours.
Right. So
Yeah.
sometimes you find that the developers are actually looking for persons, to buy directly from them because, they make more money
Yeah,
that
we don't
way.
pay a commission.
Exactly, to the agent. So that's a catch as well.
And don't forget that you're going to need life insurance. Yes, I had to say it. Yes, we sell life insurance.
Definitely.
But we had to put it in there because it is a fact. You need
Yeah.
life insurance to cover the amount that you're borrowing. Alright? So if you don't have life insurance or you need some more, feel free to contact us.
Call
Our
us.
contact information is on the screen. So link us. So guys, if you learned something today, please let us know in the comment section what you learned and what you're going to, how you going to go about getting your first house if you don't already have. Let us know if you went through NHC for your first house, if you already bought a house. Just make us know. We want to communicate with you guys. And don't forget to like the video. Like the video.
Guys,
Like the video.
Yes.
Make us know say you like the video by liking the video. Alright? And subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Just subscribe. Be a part of our family.
Yes.
So you know anytime our next video comes out by hitting the notification bell. I saw it work, though.
Yeah, man, definitely. You have to hit the notification bell. You have to hit the notification bell, guys, because that's how you ensure that you see our videos.
Yeah, man.
Right?
So until next time.
Bye.